Hi, my name is Eva Pham, and I'll be doing Module 4, Comparing Cultures, Project Option A. Out of all the 8 questions, I did select 5 questions to answer using resources that I found and also interviewed someone that I know. The country I'll be doing is Vietnam, and the first question is, how are marriage proposals conducted in the culture? Is it between a man and a woman? Is parental permission needed? Is a marriage arranged by an individual's parents or a third party or a go-between? And to answer that question, yes, marriage can be arranged through both sides of the family. Vietnamese family can be traditional where they do want to set up the marriage for their child because they want what's best for them. Modern family, usually it leaves up to the children to decide what's best for them, and the parents do follow that and give blessing as well. The reason why majority marriage is arranged in Vietnam is because most of the parents are traditional and that they just want to follow that just because they were arranged, and then if you look back, maybe their grandparents were arranged and then great grandparents were arranged. And so if they can't find anybody that can arrange their child, they'll find a matchmaker to help them. Usually arranged marriage is through mutual friends, so family members or just anybody that can find who is best and what's best for their child. Next question, what is a typical wedding like? What are the reasons for the rites and rituals that are associated with it? How much variations can there be in the type of marriage ceremony that couples have? And to tell you this, Vietnamese weddings is important for the Vietnamese culture because wedding is commitment, and with that being said, there is ceremonies that can lead to the marriage, and usually the ceremonies are good luck, and it is important to have and to put in for the wedding. And so usually wedding, it starts off with, before the wedding it can start off as a proposal ceremony, so both sides of the family will come in together and discuss what is need to work with the both sides of the family, as in like what can the bride and the groom provide for both sides, and what can the groom provide for the bride side, and how the wedding's gonna be celebrated, what's the date, what's the year, just basically planning the wedding, like not planning the whole entire thing but just discussing it briefly. And so if they can discuss that everything, then they don't need an engagement party, because the engagement party does kind of give them more time to stall while they are deciding for the wedding. And so usually most Vietnamese family will have an engagement party just to let their family and friends know that their children are getting married. And so that's why they would have basically the ceremony, the engagement ceremony. And so usually most parents don't, and so instead they'll skip that and go straight to the wedding ceremony, which is called a tea ceremony, as in the morning both sides of the family will wake up early and will celebrate. And so the groom will go to the bride's house and bring all the red boxes, which is gifts that are symbolizes that what can the groom provide for the bride's family. Once when the groom goes to the bride's family, then there's going to be a spokesperson from the groom's side of the family, and will speak up for that side and basically introduce everyone that's on that side that's here today to celebrate with the groom and bride. Once when that's happening, then the bride does come out, and then both will pray for their ancestors. Praying for their ancestors is important because when you pray for your ancestors, that means that you are asking for blessing. And when you're asking for blessing, that means that you will ask blessing from everybody that's around you, because that's important. Because if you don't get blessing, meaning it is a sign of bad luck, and that there isn't going to be a wedding, because Vietnamese do believe in luck and they are superstitious, so they do want to have the best wedding that there is for their children. And so once when everything is done, the bride will go to the groom's side and will basically do vice versa. Tea ceremony will happen within, depending on the timing, it can happen from all day, so from morning, and then it can end at like 1 or 2. Once when that's done, then everything else will just continue with the reception and then the wedding party. Next question, how do members of the culture view divorce? And so the divorce rate in Vietnam is low, around 30%. And so, according to the survey by Vietnamese sociologists and statistics from courts, there has been increasingly larger numbers of couples aged below 35 years older in Ho Chi Minh City filing for divorce. So around 30% out of 100%. So, which is not a whole lot, but it's like, it's there. But the rating is lower than other countries around the world. And how Vietnamese people view divorce is that most don't believe in divorces, as in they don't believe that the cultural of divorce. Because they believe that once when you're married and you're committed to that person and that's the person you're gonna be with forever, and you're not gonna basically divorce and have another marriage and another kids, because that's just gonna be, it's just not right to them. It's not morally right. That's what the Vietnamese people would think. Obviously, modern family, it's just like a freedom for them to decide what's best for them, and so they do divorce, and there's some couples do divorce. It's not like, oh yeah, like if you're Vietnamese you can't divorce. It's just the belief that most Vietnamese traditional family don't believe that divorce is the thing. They'll rather work it out, or if they don't, then they'll just keep things humble. And keeping things humble meaning that on the outside everyone will see that they're happy and they're caring and they're loving towards each other, but then in the back of the family, it's just, everything's just so humble. You don't know what's going on in that family. And so how they view it is that they don't believe in the divorce, but if you have to, then you can. It's just that you need to have evidence to back up the reasoning why you're divorcing that person. Next question, if divorce occurs, what are the rights of each partner? What is the emotional impact? So the emotional impact between this is that obviously once when you're divorced, it's like Western culture here where you file divorce and then you have custody of your children and all that stuff. So same with Vietnam too. So like it's just really up to both sides of the family if they want to divorce, then what they want to decide with the finance and the children and everything else. And so both sides will have their rights, and what they have will be up to the court. What is the general cultural attitude towards homosexuality? What is legal rights or protection exist for gays and lesbian couples? Can they marry or adopt? That is a very good question. Based on this website that I found, LGBT rights in Vietnam, homosexuality is legal in Vietnam, but the marriage is unrecognized. So basically, if you want to change genders, it's legal, but obviously requires surgery. Vietnamese culture back then, most parents will discriminate their children and will disown them if they are gay, lesbian, bisexual, or wants to be a transgender. But now in today's society, the third world, basically what they call, is very common. There is many gays and lesbians there that changes their gender and becomes a transgender. It's very common. Vietnam recently, in 2018, won Miss World, basically transgender, in worldwide. Vietnam won the title. So the lady that represents Vietnam, she's a transgender, and she's basically inspiring many transgenders, gays and lesbians, so basically LGBTQA in like community to understand, and the people that aren't in that community understand that it is okay to be different. It is okay to be who you are. And so she does inspire all these LGBTQA people and the people that aren't in the community to learn about that community. And so Usually, so now Vietnam does have legal rights for it, and a lot of gays and lesbians are known in that country now. So can they marry or adopt? So like I said, marriage is unrecognized, and I'm pretty sure the Vietnamese government is trying to get a bill to pass for that. And adopting, since marriage isn't legal, adoption isn't legal as well. And so that's it for all the questions that I answered. Thank you for getting to know the country that I selected, and that's it. Thank you.